Okay, so we know the major diameter is the distance across the crests. The bottom of the thread here, guys, is the root. Okay, the bottom of the thread is the root. So the distance from root to root is the minor diameter. So the major diameter is the biggest part of the thread, the minor diameter, smallest part of the thread, okay? And we're not going to go over the ways to measure the minor diameter in this class. You'll do it in a practical setting in the shop, okay? All right, so those are two things we need to know. Another thing that we need to know is the distance from the crest to the root. Okay, so we call this SD, guys, single depth. Okay, single depth is the distance from the crest to the root. And we talked about single depth already with the tapers, right? When you touch off the side of your part and then you engage your compound rest into the part, whatever that distance is that you engage your compound rest is single depth, because you're cutting it on this side of the part. Yes, the part spins around and you're also cutting it on the other side, but you're physically only cutting one side, right? So it's a single depth, okay? All right, good. We've talked about this already. The distance from a point on one thread to the exact same point on the next thread, right? That's your pitch. And if you remember, there's different ways we can cut a thread. We can cut a single start thread where it's one helix cut around the body of a bolt, okay, or around a body of a dowel. Or we can do a double start thread where we cut the thread around the OD and then we rotate the spindle 90 degrees from the last starting position, or on our thread chasing dial, we wait for the thread chasing dial to go 180 degrees and we engage our split nut. And then we can cut a thread on the opposite side of the first thread. So it'll run as a helix right beside the first thread. We can cut triple start threads, quadruple start threads, and special threads, okay? So on a single start thread, remember that the pitch of the thread is equal to the lead. And the lead is the amount of distance that the tool travels in one rotation of the spindle. Okay, so it is important to remember that. The pitch is a measurable distance from a point on one thread to the same point on the next. And the lead is how we achieve the pitch, if you want to think about it that way, right? On a single start thread, the lead equals the pitch.